I did it. Look, it's clean. Now, if you could see the rest of my desk, you would know that on this side, an avalanche could happen at any time. We are really hoping it's not going to happen during this video. Today, we are continuing on this final exercise that's taken from my full day, The Path seminar, based on my third book, The Path. You're going to need the information from yesterday to be able to do this part, or you need a really good memory. But this is the reconciliation work. This is two canoes traveling side by side. This is hopefully our future. So let's talk about it. Bonjour. Mishko Paganan Quay Nadishnakas Mung Nodam. Hi, everybody. My name is Sandy Boucher. I'm Red Thunderbolt Woman of the Loon Clan, a proud member of Seine River First Nation in Treaty 3 territory in Northern Ontario, Canada, and I am committed to all things Indigenous Canadian reconciliation. Whether I'm working in a First Nation community, helping them with their healing and finding their voices and moving forward, or working with non-Indigenous Canadians, helping them to understand Canadian history, its impact on Indigenous people, and how we need to change things to be able to work together. And I love what I do. But that means sometimes I have to be in two places at once. And while you're watching this video, I'm actually on a road trip because I have two amazing events I get to do in Southern Ontario. One is all about helping a non-Indigenous entity to understand. The other one is all about empowering Indigenous people. And I just realized I just balanced the feather again. One is non-Indigenous, one is Indigenous. I love my life. And I love balancing the feather because there's work to be done on both sides. And up until now, that really hasn't been the case. There's been a huge focus on what Indigenous people need to do. And yes, we need the healing and we need the support, but there's a whole lot of work that's got to be done on the non-Indigenous side. And until that changes, we can't heal because the attacks don't stop. You can't heal if you're still in the war zone, right? I hesitate to use that term considering what's going on in the world right now. So, yesterday, I listed off 10 scenarios. If you didn't see the video, I'll put the link below because it's definitely tied to the work we're going to do today. Yesterday, I listed off the 10 scenarios and you decided whether you thought the person was Indigenous or non-Indigenous. And depending on which one you chose, what stage of that path were they on? Were they in the beginning baby stage where they're just starting to get on their reconciliation journey? Was it the youth stage, the more higher learning, but still not action? Was it the action stage of the adult or the elders actually doing reconciliation work? So, what the question is for today, and it's the next 2 pages in this assignment. It says, one simple question with a non-simple answer. How can you assist each person listed on the previous page to move to the next stage of their journey? Support, assist, encourage, not save. So that first person, an angry person, you don't know if they're Indigenous or not, who thinks we should quit talking about the past because we can't change it and we should just move on. You got to know what path you put them on and what stage you think they're in. How do you help them get to the next stage? If they're stage 1, how do you help them get to stage 2? If they're stage 2, how could you help them get to stage 3? Right? The answer is never, well, I can't do anything, that's up to them. You can create an environment, you can offer encouraging words, whatever the case may be, whatever your answer is. What can you do to help them get to the next level? I think one of my cats found a squeaky toy. I have no idea. Okay, that was different. Second person from yesterday. An angry indigenous activist who keeps calling white people snowflakes. We know he's on the she is on the indigenous path, he, she, they. What stage are they at? And how do you help them advance? You can pause this video at any time. I would love it if you really contemplated these answers. Even more, if you wrote them down. If you write things down, you have a greater chance of achieving them, in case you didn't know that. Number 3, an intoxicated, homeless indigenous person. We know they're on the indigenous path. What stage are they at? How can you help them get to the next stage? Number 4, a chief giving a speech at a national assembly. Maybe you'll hear about that on the news if you're non-indigenous. We know they're on the indigenous path. What stage do you think they're at? How do you help them? Of course I had to yawn. I haven't done that for 3 videos. Oh my God. What stage are they at? How do you help them get to the next stage? Even if it's not directly, what can you do to help? Okay? Number 5, you have to think these out. Reconciliation is not easy, remember? So take some time. If there's one you don't know, sit with it for a day. Think about it. Maybe tomorrow I'll offer some answers. That might be an idea. Just to give you some assistance. I will help you to the next stage of your path. Next. Number 5, a white person who is heartbroken with newfound awareness of their privilege. What path are they on? We know they're non-indigenous. What stage are they at? And how do you help them get to the next stage? Number 6, a CEO who wants to develop an indigenous engagement strategy. What path are they on? Odds are a CEO, indigenous or non-indigenous path. What stage do you think they're at? How do you help them to move forward if you had the opportunity to do that? And yeah, don't fall back on, well, I would never do that. That's not the kind of job I do. Come on. Expand that imagination of yours. If you were in this situation, what could you do? Number 7, indigenous community members who want to develop an alternative justice program for their community. We know they're indigenous, so they're on the indigenous path. What stage are they at? How do you help them get to the next stage? Number 8, an indigenous traditional dancer. You come across or are introduced to an indigenous traditional dancer, someone who dances at powwow in full regalia. They're on the indigenous path. We know that. What stage are they at? How do you help them move to the next stage? Number 9, an indigenous youth who has attempted to unalive themselves. We know they're on the indigenous path. What stage are they on? How do you help them get to the next stage? Number 10, a CEO who is pushing for their indigenous partners to get it together. What path, indigenous or non? What stage? How do you help them get to the next stage? That is the second part of this plan. Oh, I was thinking of something else. It's not part of this final exercise, but it is something you could do. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. Plus, I'll give you some feedback on where I think these people are, like my answers to the exercise. And you can make your comments in the comments. Are you finding this useful? I hope so. Probably tomorrow will help you a lot. Let's talk about it then. I love you. Take care. Bye-bye.